Welcome into Same Shit, Different Toilet. Hey, thanks everyone for being here with us. On today's show, we're going to be celebrating National Parks Week, and we're all going to let you in on a couple of our experiences with national parks. Also, sticking with that theme, we got the flush out bracket of the great outdoors. So make sure you get your way over to theouthouse.com, check out the full bracket, and sign up to vote on the next FOB. And last but definitely not least, we bring to you another Shit Happens story featuring my man, Big Fuda.
So I went to the boat show, and
Finally?
the boats were there this time.
Oh my gosh, he found the boats.
I did, and if you'll notice on the screen here, I've put it up. I will put it on Twitter later. But this is the one we fell in love with, and actually met the owners. So we were looking through it, and the lady says something to me about the little center cot in the cockpit there. You see the little wooden part right in the middle,
Okay.
and we're open up the thing, and it's for wine bottles. And she goes, oh, you know what else is neat? This. And I go, oh, we're just looking for places to put the wine bottle. She goes, oh, I know. Trust me. She goes, it's my boat. And they had bought it, and they were showing it at this show, and then it's going down to Mexico. I was like, so, hey, Karen, I'm Mr. Orange. This is Mama KGB, and we're your new best friends. And she's just laughing, and she's telling us all about it. We're super stoked. And then she tells me her husband's sitting over on the couch there, and I'm saying something to him, and he goes, I can't hear you. And he starts coming up, and he comes over, and he goes, what'd you say? And I said, hi, I'm your new best friend, Mr. Orange. I can't wait to go to Mexico. But we just loved it. It's so beautiful. I know not everybody gets it, but
Dude, this thing's fucking huge.
It's
That's
40
still considered a boat? That's not a fucking yacht?
yeah, it's a sailboat. It's 49 feet long.
It's pretty.
That's
That is
That's
nice.
going to be the honey. We already know what we're going to name her. So
Are you just going to this is what you want to do in retirement and you just want to sail the seven seas as you retire? I'm afraid. I don't know. Can you go back to that picture real quick?
Yeah.
I don't want to get too much off topic, but you see how they're almost tipping sideways?
They
that's
are.
what it does. That's how you go through the water. It's designed. That's where your fastest speed is.
Just as it's cutting. Yeah, I'm like big bucket of nope. I mean, I would do it. It would be fun. I'm deathly afraid of sharks. Now, again, I want to sail. I know we talked about going on a boat and all that. I would totally want to do it fun. But also, you see, you were talking about where all the wine is. I'd be drinking that wine. I wouldn't want to be in charge of all this while I'm all fucked up.
That'd be the only way I could keep from not puking everywhere.
Would be to be in control.
To be intoxicated. That's the only way, man. I get too bad of motion sickness for boats unless I'm driving and I'm looking. And you don't really drive those kind of boats, do you? I mean, those people were just fucking chilling.
Well, you got the wheel right there. I mean, you're driving the boat as it's going through the water.
You're sailing the
I
boat.
could give you, the whole physics behind all of it some other time and show you guys. There's a neat little video you can watch on YouTube that I made the kids watch to help teach them. So, but we go we don't go every year. We're going to start going every year to this show just to keep our eye on the prize.
Just to tease yourself.
It's not a
it's
tease.
motivation.
It's motivation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that the brand? Is that the one?
That it's the Sun Odyssey 490. That's
And
49
these
feet.
and Karen, did you say her name was?
Karen and Leo.
Are they selling? Was Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yeah, I wish.
No. They're selling theirs?
No. That was if they had another one, I don't know. That was their actual boat we were on, and as soon as the boat show was over, it was getting sailed down to Puerto Vallarta, right? Is that how you say that?
Yeah.
And it's going to be chartered there. So next year for our corporate retreat, we could actually go charter that very boat out of Mexico, and I'll be licensed to skipper it, and we could just sail around Mexico a little bit.
Can you also, when you charter it, charter professional help?
You can hire skippers, yeah.
Maybe
I will
it'd be
be.
cool to
Don't worry
just
about
get
it.
an extra skipper.
Don't worry about it.
Like a pro skipper and extra.
Yeah, to answer your question, I want to retire early and then go down to the Caribbean, and you can captain for half the year and make
Captain
a
Orange.
lot of money. Mama KGB be running that type ship. We'll be good, man.
Dude, the Caribbean. Well, I St. Lucia. I can't wait to go back to St. Lucia. That's where we went on our honeymoon.
Yeah.
And we'll be playing the Rasta music to get in the vibe. And
Yeah, boy.
I want a pool just so I can float around and listen to reggae and smoke and drink. I was telling the family about this last night at Mom's B-Day because Mom really likes Sting. And Sting has this album with Shaggy.
What?
Yeah, it just came out on 420. And they're like
It wasn't me?
that guy
Yeah.
and Sting from the Police. And they're like, I guess my brother told me, he's like, so did you guys mean to come out on 420? And he goes, well, we were going to call it the joint venture, but it's called Sting. I think it's just called Sting and Shaggy. So I played it, and we were getting all Rasta and vibing out. It was so much fun. It was actually pretty good.
Huh.
It's pretty fucking good.
Cool. Interesting.
But, I mean, it is the season for boats. It is the season for warm weather. This warm weather is coming in, and I just like to welcome back my good friends Mud Butt, Swamp Ass, and Chafe Inner Thigh Cheeks.
Glad I'm not the only one that struggles.
Fuck me. I missed spring and summer, but I forgot how much I didn't miss you sons of bitches. The good thing about having a baby around these days is I literally have diaper rash cream on right now. The struggle is real. It was warm this weekend. There's two types of people in the fucking world. Those that get swamp ass and motherfucking liars. Because everybody struggles, man.
Oh, yeah. And I'm a windows down type of guy. I don't really blast the AC, but I'm starting to get swamp ass like a lot worse than I used to. That's for damn sure.
Part of the aging process.
Just sitting longer.
I guess so, man. I guess
Part of the aging process. These are my liver spots. This is where I get swamp ass right down here.
And swamp ass.
That Gold Bond.
That'll
dumping it in your chonies every morning.
Dude, it'll ruin your whole day if it's like 75 when you wake up.
It starts early.
Well, no, what happened to spring, man? We go right into summer every year now.
Well, that's one of the memes that's been funny on the IG and shit this year. It was like, yeah, 2017 sucked, but at least it had a spring. All we got was like long winter and boom, summer.
Yeah.
My mom the other day, hey, Mom, you listening to the show? You think I'd like it, son? No, probably not. We talk about things like swamp ass.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And as the year turns, man, my Xbox just keeps getting fucking older. I thought I had one of the new ones, but apparently they've released a couple of them.
Which one do you have?
I have just the Xbox One.
That is the newest one, right?
Well, I know, but they have like the Xbox One X now.
S, I think.
No, they have the S, and then they released the X. And all my friends now have the X. And they all give me shit because my games aren't fucking loading up.
Oh.
And like the thing's just starting to slow
They
down.
do that shit on purpose. That's planned obsolescence.
Right?
You mean
That's
like
not
when
fair.
you podcast with some guys and they always get pissed because they have to look for older Mac? And you finally break down and buy a new Mac?
Please tell me that's not why you got that new Mac.
No.
We don't get pissed. It was just like,
I almost got it because I lost episode 10. I thought I lost
a
it.
fucking liability.
And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm not doing this again. But
yeah. So anyway, I'm going to start a GoFundMe.
you should.
I've already have a couple people said, I'll put $20 on that so I can hear you stop bitching about your fucking Xbox.
That's pretty
Well,
funny.
hold on a second. You're gonna. What is it? What is this? What are you doing?
I'm starting a GoFundMe.
What is that?
So, a
It's,
GoFundMe?
Like a Kickstarter?
Yeah. Kickstarter for
Right.
like for any reason pretty much you can think of. Like,
For
I need a
people
new
to-
Xbox.
Maybe some guy
Fuck
here
you.
listening to the podcast will
Dude,
say,
you
hey,
never
dude,
know.
I'll give him a
I
fucking
got $20
$1.
better than giving it to a bum.
Yeah.
Give it to
actually.
Fresh so he can play his video games and not be grumpy. We got less Fresh takes if Fresh gets a new Xbox.
Well,
Dude, we
is that
should
a good thing?
see if we can get this
Maybe
thing.
we'll get more out of it.
We should see if we can get this thing to go viral. You get Bill Gates to just fucking give you one.
I mean, dude, I use it for everything.
Yeah, what's
my
it cost
TV
him?
is plugged right into it. My fucking all the Netflix, all those apps are all on that. I use,
Oh, that's your main hub.
right.
Oh, well,
That is the main hub.
to
So
me, that seems why it would be slowing down because you're running everything through it. So
I mean,
it's just wrecking that process.
no, I mean the TV is literally just like a
You ever clean it out back
through.
there? You ever blow it out or anything?
yeah,
like
of
that?
course, but still, it's just it gets old.
gets
the
old.
games get
hot.
more defined.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
I think that's most of the problem because the game we play is just it takes forever to load,
It
and
needs
people are
that
finding
faster.
guns before me. It's like fuck that. That ain't cool.
That sucks.
Starting out in the middle of the map with nothing.
yeah.
This is bullshit.
Run like a bitch.
Well, at first I thought you was crazy. He was like, I need a new Xbox. You're like panhandling for a new fucking Xbox One. I was like, you fuck off.
Hey.
Like, but you had a good point, and I'll throw 20 on your GoFundMe.
go.
Hey.
Yeah.
Anybody out there listening, hit me
hook
up
up.
at JT_fresh with a 3, not an E, and let me know you're gonna give me some money. That'd be awesome.
Is it live?
I'll find a way to pay you guys back. I swear.
I'd give you $20, but I fucking rear-ended somebody this week, so
What the fuck is
a
that?
coworker.
Oh, and it was like
First time I've ever rear-ended somebody in my entirety of my driving existence. And
Really? We
we're
gotta hear
leaving
about
work
this.
the other day, and the corner, though very close to a stop sign, just this road, people fly down it, and he went to pull out in front of me, and I looked, and when he went, I started going, but I looked down at my phone to start a song, and boom! And of course, he's got an older pickup truck with a solid metal bumper, and I got that plastic thing out front that I commuted. And so it looks like I ran into a brick wall doing about 25. In reality, I wouldn't even have my foot on the gas. But I've never rear-ended somebody before, so sorry, I don't have $20 for you this week.
And everybody's cool. His truck's fine, and your grill's all fucked
Oh yeah,
up.
he's fine. But so.
Did you find out how much damage was to your truck?
Well, luckily, Mama KGB's papa fixes cars for a living, so I just hate looking like a dummy. Like, here, I broke the car. Can you fix it for me, please?
Say that guy backed into you.
I should make
and
up a
you didn't
want to
get insurance involved because he's your coworker, and you didn't want to make it weird and shit. And we figured it would be time we can hang out together. I don't know. I'm a manipulative piece of shit, everybody. Well, speaking of dick jokes, Mac's circumcision was this week. We got the little baby boy cut.
Okay.
And you may be thinking to yourselves, isn't he a little old? Don't they do that right away? And it was our understanding that they would do it right away too. But I guess it depends on the medical practice. So the hospital we were at, they didn't do it in the hospital. Then when they sent us home, and then they schedule it within like a week, and you go to your pediatrician and they do it. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. So we go to the pediatrician because they require that after the first 2 days of him being home, he goes in and gets a checkup to make sure that we haven't drowned the baby already or something. I don't know what it is. So we go, and they're like, okay, so it has to be on this 2-day. Your regular pediatrician that you chose isn't in that day, so you're going to be with this lady. And I was like, okay, like whatever, no big deal. It was funny. We were her name's Dr. Hay, so I put it in the calendar. Dr. Hay. So we were like, cool. And we get in there, we go to the appointment or whatever, and they're poking on our little bundle of joy and shit. And she takes his diaper off, and she looks at him, and she goes, not normal. And I was like, excuse me? Not normal. And I'm like, huh? Too much this or that, basically saying his dick wasn't normal and that they couldn't perform circumcision on him. We had to go see a specialist. And I was like, I'm no doctor, but it looks pretty fucking normal to me. And now, I don't know, stereotypes, they do exist for a reason. Don't know how much stock I put into it, but I don't know if a 4'6" Asian woman is the authority on dicks. I don't know. I'm just saying, though. So, not normal. We have to see a fucking specialist. I'm like, whatever. You have to do it, as far as this practice is concerned, within 4 weeks. And if you don't get it done within that 4 weeks, you have to wait a fucking year because it becomes like a bleed risk or something. Or I don't fully understand it. I was like, you would have minimized all this confusion if you just did it at the fucking hospital like they used to. But whatever. So we'll go make an appointment with the specialist. We call the specialist. There's 2 of them in the whole greater Sacramento region that can see this boy and tell me his penis is not normal. And we have to, now I'm getting all worried. Like he's going to have an abnormal dick. His sex life's going to be fucked up. Like what the fuck am I going to do? I'm starting to get all this anxiety. I'm like, just be cool. P3, it's going to be fine. We call up the specialist, 2 fucking specialists. Both of them are out on spring break. And I was like, what do you mean they're both out on spring break? We got to get my baby circumcised. We only got 4 weeks to fucking do this thing. And they're like, you're going to be fine. Don't worry about it. Make the appointment. The regular physician calls back. Hey, man, like, just make the appointment for the circumcision. It'll be on my mom's birthday of all days, which I forgot her fucking birthday because we were abbreviating it on Sunday. I forgot my mom's birthday like an asshole. Luckily, my fucking uncle texted me. He's like, hey, so I talked to your mom today. She sounded really tired. And I was like, you idiot, her birthday's tomorrow. And then I looked at the calendar and I was like, holy shit. So I immediately called her at luckily it was 9:37 and not 10:37 because she answered and I got to talk to her. Anyway, we had a good celebration with her on Sunday. So he's like, make the appointment. I'm sure it's going to be fine. We see him. We go back in for another appointment, right? He's like, it looks pretty okay, but since she requested it, we'll still stick with it because they don't want it on their liability, right? They cut the kid's dick off and they're like, should have saw that specialist. So we go, fucking whatever. I'm all getting just gruntled about this more and more time because I'm like, we're running out of time and we're fucking with my boy's penis.
It's a big deal.
We go to, it is a big deal. I'm a man, I'm a father, it's all we have.
How are you going to explain that one later?
So, yeah, Daddy, how come I have a fucking snake head? Looks like a snake's tongue.
Well, the 2 specialists in Sacramento were in Cancun for spring break.
Yeah, right? So I had to do it myself with the kitchen scissors. So fucking, we go to the specialist. And he's like, so what are we doing here? Like, you can tell he felt very put out by taking this appointment. I'm like, you tell me. He's like, they said this and this. And they read off the technical term, whatever it is. And they're like, did they tell you that in the hospital? And I'm like, nope. It was the doctor at that wonderful 2-day-old checkup we had to go to or whatever. And they're like, okay. So he takes off the diaper. He looks at it 1 second, goes, perfect penis. He goes, I was like, what? He goes, this is a perfect penis. And he goes, and quite frankly, it actually looks like a 6-month-old penis.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, damn. I was like, are we done? Are we done here? He's like, we're done here. Have a good day. Shakes my hand and walks out. I was like, motherfucker. So we go back into the appointment. I was like, cool. We didn't have to delay it. No weird project. No weird process. His penis is fine. And we go in there, and the doctor hooks us up, and he comes back. He's like, Mac is a rock star. He did so well. That boy is a rock star. No excess bleeding. No nothing. Perfect penis.
Wow, dude.
2 perfect penises in 1 week.
I know, right? I feel pretty good
He'll
about
be able
it.
to put that on his dating resume in the future, because that's going to be a thing. Everything will be online. He'll be like, see, if you look right here, April of 2018, I got rated a perfect penis not once, but twice.
Hey, Mac, you may look like your mama, but at least you got your daddy's dick, all right?
Just don't stick it the same place as he does, please.
Oh, yeah, that'd make you a motherfucker, you little motherfucker.
Wow.
And another thing. This week's bad service to the... This week in bad service in Sacramento. This week's bad services story is brought to you by Pizza Natomas. Super slow and competent staff tonight. It was 4:20, so maybe they had been smoking on their lunch break. I don't know. I like to go there because it's the closest thing that I'm ever going to get to actually having a brewery in my backyard. Mm-hmm. We could be sitting there on the patio having beers one night, and I could break out one of my windows by throwing a baseball. Like, it's literally that close. You'd be like, no, you're not. Your arm's not that good, fucking pussy.
10 years ago.
So we're waiting forever. I'm sitting there for like 15 minutes. I'm trying to flag people down, like, yo, can I get a menu? Like, whatever. Usually they're pretty snappy, but it's never fucking perfect. I love that place, though. They got good pizza, and it's walking distance to my house. Whatever. It's happy hour. So I order a beer. But instead of 1 beer, I ordered 2 because I was like, by the time these motherfuckers get around again, I'm not going to get a second happy hour priced beer. So I ordered 2. So I see him coming with the tray, and he stops at our table and he gives us these waters, and he gives Nikki her cocktail, but he walks off with the beer. And I was like, that was my beer, but I'm supposed to get 2, so maybe it wasn't my beer after all. He goes to the table next to me, gives the guy the beer, walks off. The guy comes back out. He's walking around. He's like, oh, it's just too hoppy. Excuse me, it's just too hoppy. This isn't my beer. And in my head, I'm thinking, because it's my beer, motherfucker. And when people complain, no offense, but when people complain about IPAs sounding like they're fucking too hoppy, I mean, it's just like, you just sound like just swallow the fucking beer. Say there's a bug in it or something, because you sound like a fucking pussy. Yeah. Not you, Fresh.
Hey, I just don't
people
drink
that
beer
no,
much.
exact people that order them and then complain about them bother the fuck out of me.
Like it's my fault
Yeah.
you don't like the good beer. Like,
what did we say earlier? You're like, hey, you want some beer? What kind do you want? I'm like, I don't fucking know. Like that fucking blonde chick.
yeah.
Come on, that was my fucking explanation.
Well, yeah,
for
and that's why I was like, maybe you should dial it in a little bit more, because if you say, I don't know, you're going to get something you don't like, and we might as well nip that in the bud. So he goes, whatever, man, we'll get you a new one, no worries. And I'm like, that motherfucker just drank my beer.
And then turned it away.
So he turns it away.
Spurred the woman you loved.
This was the part that fucked me up. So he walks away, and he's holding this beer, and I'm watching. And I was just, I don't know, because I was irritated or what, but I was fixated on this process, because it was my beer. He goes up, and as he's about to walk back into the restaurant, the guy on the patio right by the door, like, tugs on his arm or something, and he was like, hey, they have this conversation. I can't hear what they're saying, but I can see there's a conversation going on. And he, like, lifts it up, and he starts, like, talking about this beer. And he's like, he, like, points, like, does the finger thing, like, I'll have that beer, gives the guy the beer, and then proceeds to drink it. And I'm just like, you just got a used fucking beer.
Sounds like maybe he asked for it, though.
I was like, do you know that guy? Like, hey, he just took one sip out of that beer. What are you going to do? You going to throw it away? It's like, well, yes, sir. I can't serve it. He's like, I'll drink that shit.
That's
Keep it off my
exactly
tab.
what happened.
I was like, what the fuck? So then finally they came out
And
with
the
the
alcohol
two.
kills the herpes, man.
Well, he
What can
comes.
I say?
I don't know. I think maybe if you're drinking scotch, but fucking just a little bit of IPA, I don't think there's enough in there. It's only like 7%. It's not like a real hefty left eye, right eye from the track 7. You know what I mean?
True, brother.
I don't know, man. That was fucking me up. That fucked my whole head up. And then he comes back out with the 2 IPAs, and he's like, "Oh, you ordered 2?" And I was like, "Well, yeah." He's like trying to catch that happy hour. I was like, "Yeah, man. I didn't want to miss
This kind
it."
of service, I should have ordered 3.
I know, right?
Dude, that's fucking. I only order 2 beers, probably if I'm on vacation or something. Speaking of that, I need a fucking vacation. God damn it. It's been a long time since I left this town, now that I think about it.
Really?
You went to spring training last year?
I didn't.
A year
Dude,
before.
I haven't been to spring training in a long fucking time. No.
Really?
I was supposed to go, and then Drewski got in trouble, and I had to cancel that
I
trip.
thought you went
Oh, you were
That
going
was
to go to
supposed
that
be
one
last
with
year.
No, it
Manjeet?
was?
With Manjeet and them when they went?
No.
He's got his buddy down there. He was going to go see. I thought you went on a trip down there at some point in the last
Nope.
5 years, right?
Maybe 5 years ago.
Wow.
Maybe 5 years
My
since I left
memory
this
sucks.
godforsaken town.
So if you were to go on a vacation like tomorrow, where would you go?
I don't know. We got a nice little topic going about the great outdoors. Maybe I'll just get out and enjoy some fresh air.
Listen, man, I didn't wear this shirt on accident. Don't go where you can hear the fucking banjos, all right?
Paddle faster, I hear banjos.
I've looked at the shirt like 6 times tonight, and it just never registered until you just pointed it out. I've been just like, eh. I was all punky Monday.
Yeah. No, dude, but
You do some camping or something?
I don't know. I'm not a big camper, but like Orange talking about his cabin, right? It's a cabin?
No,
it's a house.
It's a house in the
The
mountains.
mountain
I'm
house.
down
Call it
with
the
something
mountain
like
house.
that, but you're out in
Next
fresh
weekend?
air.
Yeah, is that
Right.
next weekend? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're out in like the fresh air, you know. You just got to get away, and just like that new Revolution song, man. You guys heard that shit? Those lyrics explain how I feel, and I listen to that song every fucking day, and it makes me just want to just up and bounce.
New Revolution?
Revolution. Never heard of that? No. Okay, we'll drop some knowledge on
Indoctrinate
this
you
guy,
later, yeah.
and that's what I'll be listening to all vacation, motherfucker.
In a world where people have nothing better to do than make lists about movies and sports and such and then bitch about them on the internet.
What the fuck is the internet?
Where the average commute is far longer than it should be because people can't drive worth a shit and shouldn't even have a license in the first place.
Eat a dick!
We bring you the ultimate, end-all be-all, most time-wasting interactive internet list-arguing debate tournament of champions in podcast history.
No fucking way Braveheart's better than Frozen.
Are you fucking kidding me?
This is the Flush Out Brackets.
You're talking about a film and a movie right here.
Welcome to the great outdoors. This week, we celebrate nature. We celebrate the fiddle. We celebrate everything from here, there, and in the middle. We bring to you the Flush Out Brackets. Number 1, Deliverance.
I've been through squeal like a pig. Oh, which squeal? Squeal now. Squeal. Squeal. Squeal louder. 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 Get down there, boy. Louder.
Jesus Christ, that was unsettling. Versus number 2, Dances with Wolves.
Tonka. Tonka.
Tatanka.
Tonka.
Here.
Tonka.
Tatanka.
Tonka.
Tatanka.
Tonka. Buffalo.
Oh,
Buffalo.
Tatanka.
Buffalo.
Buff.
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 Buffalo. Tatanka.
Say.
Well, you guys scared yet? Now you like my T-shirt? I wear this every time we go camping. When we went floating with Fletch and the other guy, this was the shirt I wore when we got on the river that day.
Jerk.
Wow, dude. Talk about dropping some hints on these guys. They were like, where the fuck are we going?
Orange, why'd that jug of Vaseline fall out of your knapsack?
Don't worry about it. I rewatched it today, actually.
Deliverance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it hadn't been all that long since I had first watched it ever. It's a good movie, right? I say that for about every movie. It's almost 50 years old, which blew my mind away. Actually.
That's crazy.
But besides that, not a lot of dialogue, but it conveys a lot in the movie. You know what I mean?
He got a little pretty mouth, ain't he?
Ugh.
Oh, dude.
So gross.
Right? Oh, my God, dude. That guy was fucking hillbilly as they come.
Oh, my God.
He missing teeth. He's all smiling at that guy, dude, about ready to... Oh, while that other dude's getting plowed. That was just not cool. That was so not cool, bro. So not cool.
Spoken in modern tones.
I mean...
This motherfucker's getting plowed.
Yeah, squealing like a goddamn... I play video games with a guy who squeals like that, too. And now it's just going to totally ruin it for me. I'm going to tell him to shut up because it sounds like he's taking it up the
Will you
pooter.
shut that pretty mouth of yours?
And just, you know what, for that reason, I have to vote for Dances with Wolves. I have to. Because,
really?
Yeah.
Because of sodomy?
Sodomy.
But it's stuck
Down
with you.
with sodomy.
It stays with you, though. It's, you remember that scene. You don't remember any scene from Dances with Wolves that intensely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Which one?
Oh, man. I watched that a lot when I was a child. Yeah. I liked that movie, man. It was a good long... It was probably the first movie that I liked that was like a 2-hour-plus movie. You know what I mean? Like, any time before that, I was too young, I guess. But
That's a 4-hour movie making motherfucker.
it's a 4-hour movie?
No, I don't
Oh,
know.
shit.
That was from How High.
Oh.
I like Dances with Wolves. I like both movies. I had seen Dances with Wolves when it was new, again, on video. And that's one of the reasons my brother Jay hates me is because I used to call him Tatanka when we were little. And I forgot about that until I heard that. And I was like, oh, my God. And I was like, why did you ever do that? Because I was a fucking asshole face. But, yeah, I don't call him that anymore anyway. But I don't know. I felt like a prick for it when I was listening to that. But this is reflective. We're learning things here in the outhouse. I don't know. I saw Deliverance, though, when I was older. I was moved out on my own, and we, like, watched it. And it was distracting because, like, people were over, and we were eating and stuff. And it was just like, dog, that's fucked up. Like,
Yeah.
that, like, blew my mind. I was like, oh, I didn't know it was like this. Like, I didn't know what I was getting into. Just like, oh, Deliverance classic. You got to see it. Okay, let's watch it. And it's like, the fuck?
It changes your perspective for sure.
Burt Reynolds was quite the handsome devil back then, huh?
Oh, yeah, you get what
He's buffing that thing. I could see why he was killing it back when he was younger, man. 50 years ago.
That was in his prime.
I'm actually voting for Deliverance.
Oh, there's one for Deliverance.
I'm going Wolves.
Yeah. I figured as much.
Man.
Sorry. Turn your shirt around.
One of your fucking games! You killed somebody! There he is!
I see him, Drew. That's right, I killed somebody. But you're wrong if you don't see this as a game.
Number 3. Long-haired Brad Pitt. Oh, long-haired Brad Pitt. Speaking of being buff. Oh, number 3. Legends of the Fall.
Yeah, just give him a beer. Stay out of it, boy. My father said 4, didn't he? You heard me. Mr. Saxley and I are about to reach an understanding, isn't that right?
Just give him a goddamn beer! Justin, stay out of it! I said stay out of it!
Damn you. You're a damn fool. You're just spoiling for a fight with a man who outweighs you by 20 pounds. Who's now, as we speak, searching under the bar for some kind of a weapon. Isn't that right, Mr. Saxleben? To split your stupid skull and kill you stone dead and good riddance too. Now leave it.
versus an unsuspecting entry into the film about the wilderness, Jurassic Park.
You slapped it on a plastic lunchbox, and now you're selling it. You want to sell it. Well, yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
You know, for an unsuspecting entry into the FOB of the wilderness, it actually made it into the final four.
I'm not sure what this means by unsuspecting entry.
Oh, I didn't.
Is this too big of a
It wasn't on
movie
my
for-
list. I made a 25 movie list. It wasn't on it. I'm not saying that it should have been excluded because it's a movie that's outdoors. I
Yeah,
get it. It's
it's got some
mostly outdoors. The
technicality.
kids are outside. It's an outdoor movie.
The whole thing is outdoors.
Well, no,
They go inside to like hide. That's about it.
but it just wasn't. When I think of the great outdoors, it just didn't have that same feel to it. Like they were communing with nature. It was more about the dinosaurs. That's fine. It's there. That's what we got to vote on.
The shitheads
winning.
have
The
spoken.
shitheads
shitheads have
spoke.
spoken. They could have got rid. I thought Cliffhanger might pull it out. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
it's not a better movie, but it's to me a better outdoor movie.
You know what?
Yeah.
Both of those were my movies.
Yeah.
I think Cliffhanger was my number 2 movie. In fact,
Don't take it personal.
that's all right. I thought of one after the fact, and I didn't. It didn't make it into the bracket.
Which one was it that you thought of?
Oh, it was what I just said.
Without
earlier.
a Paddle.
Without a paddle. That's right.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. I probably would have been low on the list, but it would have been in there.
I haven't seen that in a long time.
But I mean, Jurassic Park. Most of the action scenes, right, are outside. I would say
It is.
Oh,
And
yeah.
while iconic, I don't think it's a better film than Legends of the Fall.
Okay. Are you?
We're talking about a
voting
film,
for
not
that?
a movie.
Well, Jurassic Park's kind of like a lot of people consider it a horror movie, and they bill it as a horror movie. It's a monster movie, essentially. These are
It
these
doesn't feel like it, but I guess now that you say that,
dude. That scene
The
in,
new one.
in Jurassic Park 1 where they're in the kitchen
Clever girl.
and the raptors are coming in.
Oh, for the kids.
tink, tink, tink.
Yeah.
I have a problem with that metal sound anyway.
Oh, and that was intense.
Pretty horrifying.
Yeah.
It was look, iconic. I said it was iconic.
was
super
iconic.
iconic.
And you know what? And to since I kind of fucked it up.
It's not a fuck up. It's not a fuck up. It's a different
No,
perspective.
but thinking about the theme of the movies and everything, I'm gonna pick Legends of the Fall. It was a better movie. It had better acting for sure. Besides Jeff Goldblum, because he's fucking awesome.
Dude, I am a Jeff Goldblum fan. I will watch something just because he's in it. I don't care how terrible it is.
he was in that. He does a bit in that Seth Rogen Hilarity for Charity on Netflix.
Oh,
right
I'm
now.
gonna watch. I just haven't gotten around
Yeah,
to
he's
it.
he's later in it, but there's a little bit in there. It's pretty
He's
cool.
great.
I love Rogan, but anyway, I love Jurassic Park. I love all of those movies. I can't wait to see the new one. I think
Right.
the new one looks fucking sick.
Yeah.
That last trailer they just released looks sick. It looks like they copied The Lost World, the second one, but it's like a lot of people said the first Jurassic World, they copied the first Jurassic Park. I'm like, reboots, extensions, sequels, whatever you want to call it.
You're still shelling out money.
Keep making the good movies, though. They're good. It's not like it was bad. I thought the last one was good. I'm excited as shit to see this one.
No expense.
Spared no expense.
Spared no expense. We spared no expense.
Spared no expense.
That last one, dude, he's so depressed. He's like, oh shit. Spent so much money.
All of those were from JP1?
Yeah.
Or was that from a bit from
That was
somebody
all
else?
from the first one, bro.
Yeah,
That was all the old man from the first one.
Hold on to your butts.
that was him changing over the course.
Oh,
So what's your vote, Duff, man?
Legends of the Fall.
Oh.
Well, I think we're gonna have our first
Unanimous?
unanimous vote.
Ah!
Hold on to your butts.
We bring to you the Battle of the Wilder Folk. One 90s, 80s heartthrob versus another. We bring you the mustache suave of Buffalo riding Kevin Costner in Dances with Wolves.
Put that in your book. What is it?
Were it not for my companion, I believe I would be having the time of my life. I know he means well, but he is quite possibly the foulest man I have ever met.
Sounds like Duffman. Up against the mustache is the long blonde locks of that Malibu surfer boy we all love. Interview with a vampire. Oh, wait, wrong one. A river runs through it. No, that's not it. Stroked out Anthony Hopkins. Legends of the Fall.
Now, do you see this man? Do you? His name is One Stab. He is a venerated elder of the Cree Nation and has counted coup on hundreds of his enemies. He is our friend. He is thirsty.
Man, it's come down to this.
Sorry, we're laughing. That's like a serious quote in that movie. And we're over here busting up laughing.
Oh, I know. It's a fucking racial equality and shit. Dude, that movie, I don't know. Dude, there was some rough spots in that movie.
Yeah. It's very traumatic.
Oh,
it's definitely a tragedy. I mean, there's no other way to describe it. When you describe it's an epic tragedy.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. It's
a really great film.
And Brad Pitt, I think, did a really good job. This is probably his best movie acting. Let's put that.
I think he's
clear
good
on the board.
I'm a big Pitt fan. I think he's good in everything.
I thought Tyler Durden was a great character.
Oh,
Fight Club was great.
I mean, as far as dramatic acting
he was great.
This was really his first role doing that, right? Close to one of them. Had to have been.
I don't know the chronological order of it, but I mean,
I think it was before 7.
The first one I fucking remember.
Anyways, Brad Pitt was great in it.
Well, because this was long hair era Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Like he had the long hair, and then he went to like short hair Brad Pitt. Like all the chicks dug the like long hair. The like I don't know. I think Brad Pitt's the man, dude. I like Brad Pitt.
Kevin Costner was the man.
Yeah,
you said it was the sequential. We've had a couple of his movies on our brackets before.
Yeah,
he still is.
He's still the man. That's what I'm a big fan of. Staying a fan. Like I don't know why people get into the whole hate mode. We're gonna P3 it up in this bitch.
I don't think he's put out that many stinkers. He just kind of faded away a lot. I guess they're not all great, but Dances with Wolves was definitely a game changer, right? That was a long fucking movie when it came out. I remember that big old conversation, right? It had a intermission in it. That was new for me.
And on the VHS it was 2 tapes, right?
Yeah.
That was killer. That takes a lot.
Yeah.
Dedication. But that was a damn good movie.
I loved that movie. And again, it was one of those fond memories I have of watching movies, new releases. We were on the video schedule of the new releases and watching them in the living room as a family with like my parents, and it would get to certain parts, they'd be like, close your eyes. I had a thing for that lady he fell in love with, like the white woman they adopted and raised up. Like, I don't know. It was one of my young movie crushes. I don't even know what her name is, but it was a good movie. But I'm going Legends.
Yeah, Orange, I'm going to steal this from you here and make you go last.
Oh, okay.
Legends of the Cocksucker Duffman.
That's what we were laughing about coming out of it. I was hoping he would read it, and he didn't notice till after.
Yeah, these guys just played a joke on me. We got the bracket.
It was on him.
We got the bracket up here on a big-ass TV in the outhouse, and they wrote that in the bracket, and I just now noticed it. That is hilarious, guys. Thank you. And just for that, I'm voting Dances with Wolves because I love that. That's my favorite Kevin Costner movie besides Bull Durham, I think.
Really?
Yeah, those two are right neck and neck, and I wouldn't say I like Bull Durham a little more than Legends, but that's a different story.
So the last couple times that Wolves was on, one was, this was years ago. It was with Erratic in his house, and I was like, oh, put this on. This shit's great. And then the other day it was on, and I was watching it with Hollywood. And they both had a similar feel with, like, there was a lot of slaughter of buffalo on there. And then there was, like, whole 5-minute scenes about, like, buffalo massacres and shit like that. And Nikki's like, I don't fucking like this movie. Like, what is this shit? And then Erratic, the same thing. He gets real sensitive about animals and shit. And not to say we should be going out and slaughtering buffalo, don't get me wrong. I'll have a double quarter pounder with cheese, please.
Well, you can't.
Could you make that the buffalo burger, please? Oh, you don't have that here? No, I thought you guys. No? Oh, okay, sorry.
Isn't it important to show stuff like that, though, so it doesn't get repeated?
Well, yeah, it's history. It's documentation. I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
I don't get twisted by it. I love.
It's sad.
Yeah, but it happened.
Yeah, it happened. We're not doing it now. They're not making a commercial to go out and slaughter buffalo so Duffman can have a burger.
They did it for survival of their people.
Well, no, until the white man showed up.
The Indians did, and
then
then
the Indians
white man did it for sport,
Right.
and you would ride the train through the countryside and just see carcasses. They would just take their heads and just dead. That's the tragedy.
That's pretty fucked up.
That's fucking uncool.
That's a movie, dude.
Well, it's a movie based on fucking fact too, which sucks.
Yeah, I if you gotta watch a movie to actually see something real, then so be it. There's so much other fucked up shit in a movie. Let's see something real.
You learn. Well, no, I love real history. Ugh, that's so bad. Well,
that
those are all pelts.
has to be 10 feet tall, huh? Look at that guy on the horse in the back. He's not as tall as that.
Well, and those are just all skins. Those aren't carcasses.
No, that's what I'm. But that's all they were killing them for. That was my point.
Just for the skin.
Yeah. Well, and then the Native Americans, they would use every piece of the animal to a degree that they could. You make oil out of the fat. You use the skin for clothes and warmth and blankets and rugs, and you use the bones for weapons and the meat for food. It all came from the nature, and they would all eat it. They would all use it for good, and then these people come through fucking sport fishing and just wipe out the population. It's not cool.
It brings me to a scene in Legends of the Fall that I had honestly forgot about and then refreshed when I watched this, was after his brother died, he cut his heart out. He cut his own brother's heart out to preserve his spirit like he would have had he been Native American. And then he put the war paint on with the blood.
Right.
And I think it was implied that he took a bite out of it. I'm not positive, but
Well,
I know my uncles have done that with deer, crazy fuckers.
Really?
Yeah.
He came up with the Native Americans. He had the Native Americans in his crew.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You talking about how they use... I mean, it just made me think of that scene. That scene was... I
That's
had
tough.
forgot about it. I remembered him getting tied up and getting shot, which was bad enough, but then I forgot that he finished him off so he didn't suffer anymore. And then I think since he'd killed him, he had to take his heart. So
the fool lived a hard life. Some stuff happened in that movie.
Yeah. So did you vote?
He did.
Fresh?
I did. Dances with Wolves. So.
All right. Well, I'm going with Legends of the Fall.
This is Finn Cannon. It's a pleasure to meet you. I hope you and Ugly here find every happiness together. Momo Toma Smell.
Don't mind my brother. Your dog has more breeding than he has.
Sorry, Dances with Wolves.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I sure as shit want to do some camping now.
Yeah.
Drink some shine under the moonlight. Feel good about life. And inhale the crisp mountain air. I'm looking forward to the Outhouse first annual retreat to the Mountain House, where we're going to record one hell of a special edition. That's all for this week, folks. Try not to do any sodomizing out there, you hear? Unless, of course, she's asking for it. And you just plug away, Turbo. Have a good night, everybody.
Whee! Whee!
Oh, man.
Think about that while you sleep. Woo.
That was awesome, man. Legends of the Cocksucker Duffman won the fucking flush out bracket. Oh, man. Mr. Orange is going crazy over this Deliverance banjo thing here.
Yeah, that movie didn't even win, and we used the damn scene from the first 5 minutes of the movie.
That happened like 3 times
I know,
already.
it's crazy.
Yeah, that's all right. It's recognizable with the sound, which is it's all we want.
You guys may have. It's like, did we get it right in the email to the shitheads? Well, no, I think you guys actually chose Deliverance. You just don't know that yet. You just didn't know how to vocalize it.
Well, that's a good point. We got to do the get it right for baseball. It's that time. So while I'm looking that up.
No, it was Saturday Night Live.
Okay, sorry, Saturday Night Live.
But did we do the baseball one anyway? What are the last two? Give us the last two. Did we get it right?
Or I don't remember.
Well,
I tried to figure this shit out. Our boy Fresh's boy, Fuda called today.
Yeah, Fuda called, man. And, he gave us a little bit of a shit happens story. And we want to drop some knowledge on you people.
Hello, and welcome to yet another edition of Shit Happens. Tonight we have a marvellous retelling of shithead stories, in which one of you cunts either shits themselves or had a rocking time at the pub. So sit down, shut up, and have a fabulous listen. Shithead.
Well, hey, welcome to Shit Happens. We're here with my man, Big Fuda. Fuda, what's up, man?
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Pretty good, bro. Pretty good. So, he has a shit happen story for us, guys. Hey, man. The floor is yours.
The emphasis isn't on the shit. It's the shit that happened surrounding the shit. So, Fresh, I don't think you had a chance to ever meet my buddy Alex, but he's a real piece of shit sometimes. And we were up at Collins Lake fishing, and we wanted to do some tent camping. It was out of season, so we requested that they put us as far away from the family camping as possible, because we plan on drinking the whole time when we took four handles and captain with us. So
right.
I would say we were prepared. And so the first fucking night, we get there early in the morning, and we were already halfway through our second handle at this point. And I got to drop the kids off. Like, it's hitting me hard. Like, there's, I usually can control it, but today it's not going to happen. Like, once you break the seal, you got to go.
You can't control it. You go fucking whenever you can when we're playing video games.
No.
Oh, I got to go. I got to go.
You know what? I think most of the time I'm actually getting snacks, to be honest. And it's just, I feel like, the fact that I'm overweight, right, as it is. So I don't need my skinny friends criticizing me on my snack breaks that I'm taking during playing video games. Like, fucking cut that noise out.
Oh, gotcha.
But,
gotcha.
So we're getting hammered, and it's just like, this is going to happen. And it's like, crap, pardon the pun. Like, I don't think I'm going to make it. I'm not going to make it to the shitters they got. And they're not quite outhouses, but they're like porta potties, but like buried in the ground, right? So it's like there's a septic tank underground, and it's just a straight hole with a little, toilet and outhouse.
The outhouse, we're familiar with outhouses.
Right? Yeah, no, absolutely. So I'm like, I don't think I'm going to make it over to that thing because it's pretty close to the little family sites. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take the roll of paper towels, and I'm just going to go hang off that other bench that's a couple sites over from us. And so no big deal. Go over there, and I'm sitting there, and I'm taking a shit, and my buddy starts yelling at me, and he's just talking shit, heckling me the whole time. And he ends up fucking like walking over. He's walking around smoking, and he's a fucking Russian guy. So like personal space, like he doesn't know what that is, right?
Right.
And so he's just like, dude, he's like talking while I'm taking his shit. And then he gets a great idea, and he snatches the paper towels from me. And so now I got my ass hanging off this park bench thing in this campsite. I took his shit. I don't know what I'm going to do here. I mean, obviously I have the option of losing a sock or two. But before I even get the opportunity to make a choice,
definitely
here comes, it was a hot mess, to say the least. So before I even get to make the choice, here comes a fucking car. And I'm just like, oh man. And so I don't know if you guys play PUBG, but it's like when you don't have shit for guns and you hear a car, you lay the fuck down and you hope they don't run you over.
Yep.
So I was just like hunkering down, going like, just wait for them to go. We'll solve this problem in a few minutes. It's not a big deal. And then all of a sudden they fucking turn off the main road, and I'm just like, okay, fuck. Like, maybe it's the ranger and they're going to come check on us. And, like, hey, it's no big deal. No one's supposed to be over here. So, and it's just like, as you already know, they fucking pull right up to me, and it's not a ranger. It's fucking family in a minivan. And so you got my big fucking vanilla gorilla ass fucking hanging off with a pile of shit in their campsite. And I'm yelling at this fucker halfway in Russian, saying crazy shit like, "Pashon the hui, suka," telling him to suck my dick and stuff, And then, and like the mom and dad open up and the headlights are shining right on me. And like, I can't really, it's like getting stopped by the cops. You're like, I think you're over there. I'm not sure. There's so many lights. And so I'm yelling at him, and I'm like trying to apologize, like all at the same time. They end up driving back up to the front and like complaining. My buddy brings me the paper towels. I handle my mess. I had to go back over there, literally shovel the shit. They went one campsite over us the whole weekend. We didn't drink the rest of the weekend. It fucked the whole thing up because we didn't want to be those assholes. We already fucked up their vacation in the beginning. We weren't going to be drunk assholes right next to them the rest of the trip. So it was definitely a buzzkill.
Man, that's great, dude. That's great.
Somebody just trying to enjoy the great outdoors.
That's right. That actually plays into the theme. What we got going
Stumble
on
across a pile of bear shit.
If a Fuda shits in the woods and no one's there with TP for him to wipe it, did it ever even happen?
It depends if there's water nearby.
Well, all right, buddy. Thanks for telling your shit happened story here on Same Shit, Different Toilet. And we'll talk to you later, my friend.
I appreciate it, gentlemen.
Yeah, we got to have you over to the outhouse. We got water and TP over here, man.
Yeah.
And we'll get you on as a guest one day or something. It'll be fun times.
Hey, I never leave home without it.
Thanks, brother.
All right, buddy.
Later, guys.
Later. All right, shitheads, make sure you get over to theouthouse.com and get us on Twitter. We want you to tell a shit happened story, so you can call us on the phone and get your story on the podcast.
Awesome. That was a great story, man. It, unfortunately makes me think of another not so great story about a national park. So me and my sister go to this wedding outside of Yellowstone near Chico Hot Springs, I think it's called. And I convince her that every night, no matter how much I drink, and it's one of our family weddings, so there's going to be drinking, that I always wake up like 4 o'clock in the morning. I can't go back to sleep. Still have the problem to this day. So I tell her, let's just get up and go. Like, I'll drive for like a while while you sleep, and then by the time you wake up, you can drive. I'll be ready for my afternoon nap, and then boom, we'll be home. Okay, she agrees to this. Sure enough, lives up to the legend, as all my family weddings seem to do. Goes long into the night. We have plenty of beverages. I wake up at 4 o'clock. I'm ready to go. So I get her up, and we take off. And she gets about 30 minutes into it, and she's just like, I can't do this. Like, what do you mean you can't do this? She's like, I got to drive. She's like Fresh. She's like, I got to be in control right now. And so we pull over. We pull over in front of one of the iconic Yellowstone entry signs, and my sister is just heaving into the bushes outside of the car.
Dude.
Mommy, what's that bear doing?
Good thing it was like 5:15 in the morning or whatever, because we weren't that far from the park. Nobody was out. Other than that, it was beautiful. I've been to Yellowstone a lot of times, and I like the morning. I like the mist. I like the sun coming. I love sunsets too, but I love that feeling first thing in the morning. So just reminds me of being in the woods all the time,
Dude,
right?
I've been there so many times, bro. Like, I love it. You ever been to Yellowstone?
I
Duffman?
don't know. I think
in Wyoming?
No.
Okay, yeah, it's in Wyoming.
No, I've never been there.
Parts of it, little bits of it are in Montana and a little bit in Idaho.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I've never been there.
Oh, man, it's phenomenal.
You used to travel out there or what?
Oh, my grandparents used to work there every summer.
Oh, okay.
Right, they got a big motorhome, and they used to take it up there every summer and work at the Lake Hotel up there.
Oh, that's
big.
Cool.
This big, beautiful vintage. I think it was yellow. Do you remember it? Orange? I think it was yellow, right?
Here's the weird thing. I've been in the park dozens of times. I've only been through Yellowstone once.
Oh, okay.
I've been through West Yellowstone so many times.
Well, man, it was awesome. Like, I went up there one summer. I think I was 14. I went up there for the entire summer, like a month, 2 months, something like that. I worked in the deli with my grandma at the Lake Hotel. I worked in the boiler room.
Summer, man.
Yeah, I worked in the boiler room with my
cool.
grandpa, wrenches and shit, tightening bolts and shit, and doing all that. Free time, I go ride my bike around Yellowstone, and every once in a while, dude, you'd come up and you'd see a fucking moose. You're like, oh shit, what the hell? As this little kid, riding a bike.
Scary.
Seeing a moose as a big kid, scary as fuck, man. Those things are some big sons of bitches.
Dude, they used to wake me up.
You too?
They used to wake me up.
The call?
They'd come to the side of the motorhome, and they would scratch their antlers on the side of the fucking motorhome, and you thought the goddamn world was ending. It's just a scratching noise, and everything's shaking. You're like, what's going on here? And my grandpa's like, oh, it's just a moose. Don't worry about it.
Just a moose.
Shut up, pussy. Go back to sleep. I'm trying to diddle grandma.
Yeah, I think I've seen every site there. The hot springs, Old Faithful. I've seen all that shit.
I lost pictures to Pepto's wedding at Old Faithful. Never found that memory. We went back and searched. It was gone, man. I don't know. Somebody picked it up. I dropped a memory card, though.
That's a sweet.
Dropped a lot of memories.
That sucks, dude.
But Old Faithful was
hotel.
cool.
Yeah.
And speaking of seeing everything in the park, I had never seen a bear. And so we're going through the park. My ex-wife's like, I want to see a bear. I'm like, okay, good luck. I've been here a lot, never seen a bear. We're going to see a bear. Okay, fine. So we're going through the park. Come around the corner. This looks like a place that there would be a bear. Okay. You know, former Mrs. Orange, like, I called her Ranger. That's what I called her. I said, yeah, there's going to be a fucking, and I'm telling her, and I'm looking at the road. I'm telling her I'm looking at the road, and all of a sudden I see all these brake lights light up, and I go, if there's a fucking bear in the road, I'm never going to hear the end of this. And we come around the corner, and there's a fucking bear in the middle of the road.
Like a big-ass bear?
It was I guess they're black bears, which
okay.
aren't super big.
Right.
Still, he was in the middle of the road right after she said this is a good spot for bears.
Ain't that about a bitch?
Man, dude, she got you.
Yeah, it was the only thing she was right about the whole marriage.
Oh, where's the dinger, Freshie?
I'd worry about it, but you know she ain't listening.
That's funny.
Man, yeah.
It's great up there, though.
It
You
is
got
nice.
You got to take him.
I would
You got to
love
take
to
Lil
go.
Mac. We go to
Yes.
Winnebago
Oh, that'd be fun.
when we do our first road trip.
Road trip
After we're all balling out of control, and we can do shit like that.
I know the park pretty well, man, actually. Honestly, I
love
could get
to
around
go.
there pretty good. And the Grand Tetons are literally on the way.
Oh,
if you're driving anyway.
Loved the Tetons when I was a kid. I had postcards that I had in postcard holders, like picture frames that protruded from the wall like 2 inches. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. They're frameless, and you could put a postcard in it.
Yeah.
I had from all where these road trips we'd go on, I would always grab postcards. And I love the Tetons. Never been, but I've always that great view, like you said, on your way. It's just they're there and they stick out, and there's just the three of them, and they're amazing.
It's directly south of it. I mean, you have to go through it to get to Yellowstone, so it's worth the drive through at least, at the very least. But it's beautiful,
awesome.
man. It's beautiful.
Well, speaking of this national park, the national park, right? I guess you could say there's others, but
Yeah.
we can't forget about the seashores. We'll get more into that in our ocean episode, but the whole reason we did it this week is because I was just curious after my adventure. Like I said, we did the getaway episode. I wonder if there's a national park day. Well, I was wrong. There's a national park week. And we're here because John Muir, who a lot of people listening to this are probably local because they love us. So they know who John Muir is. I don't know about the rest of the country just because we would go. I went to Muir Woods when we were kids. Were you? Did you?
I went as an adult. We went hiking there one.
Okay.
We drove early in the morning to go see the sun come up and get that early morning atmosphere and beat the crowds. And it was like it was a cool trip. And this was years ago. And hiked all around Muir Woods. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah, I can remember my mom taking us. I haven't been. See, that's where I haven't been back as an adult yet. I've been to Point Reyes, which is not that
It's
far.
like right by there.
Yeah, north, and they've got redwood groves there too, which are
is
beautiful.
that right?
But his birthday was Saturday. Sorry, John Muir's birthday was
John
Saturday,
Muir.
so that's why this is national park. He's considered the father of the national parks. He was the one behind the push, but the man that made it happen was the president at the time, which was Teddy Roosevelt. Which is something else I wanted to get back to because he was always one of my favorite presidents because he was such a badass dude. He got shot during a speech. You guys know that? I thought that was one of those internet during a speech, and he didn't stop.
What?
He finished the speech before he went and got medical care.
Gangster.
Dude, he was.
Damn.
You're not
The Panama Canal, right? That's all his doing. He was the one that went down there and forged, I think, all the what later would become the Panama Canal. He was a badass dude, and he believed in the wilderness, and he believed in preserving it, and so he was the one that said, we are going to do this. So John Muir was the naturalist that said, we have to do this, and TR was the one that said, we're going to do this, and he made it happen.
That's really cool that he did, because if they didn't, some of these places might not be around, and they might not be celebrated, and it would have been a loss to the earth, you know?
Absolutely, man.
I'm glad they did. I'm glad they did that.
You got to preserve the wildlife, or we can't just build cities everywhere.
It's not as much the outdoors, but we were driving around the Napa area on Saturday for our wedding anniversary, and in Calistoga they have a hot springs. And you guys were talking about Old Faithful and stuff like that, and the geyser, and it's like they have a geyser there in Calistoga, and they have this like spa resort that you can go to and get in these natural like hot tubs.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the mud baths. That's another one I want to do.
Well, they might have that
Yeah.
in there too, but it's like this whole resort is like, come in our natural hot springs, and our pools are full of natural like warm water and all this stuff. I was like, that sounds like it'd be a cool day. You go there and get a massage and go in the hot spring,
I'm
and
down.
then go
Put a float pod in that motherfucker.
Go tour around Napa and get some wine and shit. That was a good little bit.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing. I dare you to jump in the hot springs at Yellowstone, dude.
Oh no!
It smells like sulfur.
It not
like
just,
straight
it'll kill
sulfur,
you.
dude.
Several people die a
It might-
year in the park from the hot springs.
All right, sorry.
Really?
I don't
Yeah,
dare you to jump.
that's what I said.
Well, no,
don't
I
dare 'em.
wouldn't.
No,
Well,
several a year. This last year, a kid fell in, and then the dad died trying to get the kid out. They both died.
Are you fucking kidding?
No, dude, they're hot. They don't call them warm springs.
Well, there's like there's some of them that are chill.
Well, what they do is most of the time is they're cooled. So this last year when we went on the river rafting trip, right, when we were playing our banjos on the front of the raft.
Yeah.
We stopped overnight for 2 nights at a hot spring. It was a natural hot spring, and what somebody had done was exactly as we're going down the river. But what somebody had done was they had, during a low water year, I think, driven some mortar and bricks across, and they built some hot tubs out there in the middle of the wilderness, and they channeled some river water and some hot spring water in there, and you could divert that to control the temperature.
Huh.
And then later we went camping up in Markleyville, like Labor Day, and they have a natural hot spring up there, but what they've done is turn it into a pool. And you have to pay to get in there. And they have a regular pool, and then they have the hot spring pool, which is only like 2 feet deep through the whole thing. And it's communal, man. It's like a Roman bath. There's easily 100 people in there at a time.
Huh.
It's huge,
Wow.
though. So it's not like super crowded, like you're just nut to butt with everybody.
Right.
But it's crazy. And I'd never experienced that way. In both of them I did last year, so it was kind of neat.
I think it would be
Same
fun.
geological area, too. So.
Well, I went to Yosemite once, and that place was very cool. We went as like in like a family trip, and we all piled in our old van. And my grandparents from New York, they'd come and visit us twice a year. It was always my favorite time. My favorite time, family time growing up, was when they would come to see us. And we all took this trip up there, and we rented like this cabin, like went and ate in the lodge and stuff like that. And outside the cabin was like all of this open space, and a lot of pines and a lot of pine trees, and just like all this cool stuff. And I wanted to go run through the forest and stuff, so we like kind of did, but I would get so far in and just feel creeped out. Like there's
Not a big fan of not knowing where you're at.
Well, that, and like it was getting dusk, and I didn't know it then, but like predatory animals will come out at dusk and things like that. And it felt, in retrospect, I'm like, oh my God, we probably were being watched. But it felt like someone was watching us, or it felt like something was watching us.
Right.
So we would run around out there, but then it would be like, all right, getting a little too far out. And it's like, let's challenge ourselves how far we can go out. And then it just started to get creepy, and it was getting darker and darker.
There reaches a point, but I spent my summer, like he said he was going to Yellowstone. I was going to Montana, which is why I was always going through Yellowstone.
Right.
And we'd be gone, bro. In the morning, my uncle would either give us the opportunity to work in the morning or the afternoon. Depending on what we wanted to do, we would choose. If we really wanted to fish, we'd go fishing early in the morning so we could get fish, and then we put some work in the afternoon, or vice versa. We would get on the four-wheelers. We would have our tackle, our lunch, or whatever the hell we needed, and we would be gone. And we knew all the neighbors, and we were respectful. We never forgot to close the cattle guard.
Sure.
And it was, man, I wish my kids had more of that. I feel like I failed them a little bit because I didn't get it to them.
Let's go move to Montana. Well, I get this underwriter, and she lives there, and I talk to her all the time, and she comes to Sac and visits us and stuff like that, and I'm just like, that's pretty badass. They live on like a farm. They have all this property. Can you imagine the nights out there with a fire and just having some wine in the rocking chair, some beers? Like that would be. I
mean, I want to do mine on the ocean, but
Yeah.
like national seashores, like I said earlier, right? This is the same thing. Those are national treasures too that we have to preserve.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
There was this one we used to camp at in Santa Cruz. I forgot what it was called. Santa Cruz, Watsonville area. That's a national park. And it was a few years back, it was on the list of parks that were going to be closed. Like they couldn't operate them anymore or something. Like the funding wasn't there or something. I was so bummed that park was going to, Manjeet would know what it was called. We saw whales.
Oh, that'd be
I
cool.
had the zoom lens on, and you could see like them blowing the air out of the spout and like the water mist and stuff going up. We saw this whole pod of whales going out into the sunset. It was beautiful. I love the ocean. I love the beach. I love the outdoors too. But my parents weren't that outdoorsy, so we didn't camp a lot. We didn't do a lot of that kind of stuff growing up. We would go to the beach, which was great. But when we were at Yosemite, it was tripping me out because Half Dome on the horizon looked like a fake movie set. It looked like a fake backdrop that somebody had painted there. It was all like it was a kind of a hazy day, and it just wasn't very like crisp, and it was just like weird how it was intimidating. This massive boulder, and it looked artificial to a degree.
Did either one of you guys have an Ansel Adams phase by any chance?
What do you mean by that?
Well, you know who Ansel Adams is,
right? The
photographer. Yeah, it just felt like I went through a phase where like that was like the pinnacle of at that maturity level. I was like, I have Ansel Adams photos on my wall. Like I'm sophisticated. Like, you know what I mean? Like I still love them. There's no doubt. I don't have any up anymore, mostly because they've all been replaced with photos of us.
Right.
But I just felt like a lot of people went through that when I was that age. Maybe it was just our group. So clearly it wasn't you guys.
Yeah, no, I appreciated that.
Yeah.
I was with my art. I was always a little bit more edgy. I was way into graffiti. I was way into abstracts, painting. I liked photography, but like I could appreciate Ansel Adams. I love taking pictures of nature now and trees. I love trees. If I didn't know the troubles of being a business owner, I would, and the insurance side of it and hiring shitty employees and stuff, I'd open a landscape company. Like working out in the sun and in the nature and in the dirt and planting. It's like, maybe I will open a landscape company one day. Like, who knows? Like,
I thought about it after
really
I got out of the service.
Really?
I wanted to be a landscape architect.
Yeah.
I wanted to, be kind of hands-on, like you'd have to be a little bit. But yeah, I kind of thought about that. Like,
it would be fun.
There's a communal nature.
Yeah.
As we'll find out next week when we go up to the mountain house.
The first annual Same Shit Different Toilet Retreat.
That's right, man. That's going to be fun.
The outhouse goes out.
They won't hear about it for a couple weeks here.
Nah, that's fine, though.
Yeah, they won't hear about it for a couple
so.
weeks. But, we'll tune you guys in and let you know how it went. You'll probably hear a little special edition from Live at the Mountain House.
Live at the Mountain House.
Which is funny because when my parents bought it, that's exactly what my stepdad started calling it.
That's awesome,
with
dude.
the DA. It's the Mountain House. He's got a sign for it even that says the Mountain House.
Dude.
Bullshit.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
That's sick. More of this. Wow.
I'll check. I think my keychain that's hanging in the house says the Mountain House keys on it.
Really?
Yeah.
So we're heading home from Yosemite, and I wanted to see kind of like Ranger, as you referred to her earlier, wanted to see some wildlife. I wanted to see some stuff out there. You kind of wanted to, but you kind of didn't because you didn't want to be faced in that situation.
Yeah.
Like, do I got to play dead and potentially die, or do I run away and surely die? Like, I'd rather do neither. How about that? I'll just watch Dances with Wolves on TV. But fucking, we all pile into the van, and it's our day to go home, and we're exiting the park, and on the road, coming up, like out of the fog, like or out of the trees, came this wolf, and he just sauntered out, and we all just kind of stopped, and we looked at him, and we watched him for a little while. And then, like, we're like, fuck, that could have been that guy that was, like, watching us when we were in the woods and stuff. But he never did. He took his time, and he like, I better go get those kids. And we're driving off. It's like a lazy dog.
So, Bean, our first Shit Happens caller and future contributor for sure. He's already calling me up, telling me other stories he wants to tell me.
Already?
Yeah, but he was the dick when we were out there in the forest. It'd always be like, what would you do if a giant grizzly just came crashing through those trees right there and was just running at you? What do you mean, would I? I'd fucking shit myself and run. What a stupid fucking question.
Don't say that,
I might
fucker.
punch you first and then run because you're an asshole.
Get him. Boosh.
So one time we're out there on the ranch and my uncle manages this gigantic, stupid ranch for this very wealthy person. And so we had free roam of that. And one time we were up at their cabin, which is way up. Like, it's a cabin, too. There's running water because we dug a well. I remember when I was a kid. But there's no power. So from that cabin down to the house, you had to drive, like, down this ridge, right? And you had to come back down around the property line. So he thought he could run back to the house faster. And it was dark. And I'm like, okay, you go ahead. Come on, we'll be fine. Fuck you, go. So I'm in the back of the car. We're about halfway back, and we hear the coyotes open up. Oh. So we're like, oh, boy, I bet you he's running fast now. And we get back down to the house, and we're waiting for him to come across the damn field, and he finally shows up, and he is just like he'd been running as fast as he could. And he said he didn't know he could run any faster till he heard them things open up, and he was gone.
Damn,
I wouldn't want to tangle with that.
No.
Oh, it was Sunset Beach was the place in
okay.
Santa Cruz we were at. Anyway, you were going to say something else on that?
No, there's going to be lots of bean stories on this show. So that's not the first, the last. There'll be many. We
went down to Sunset Beach one time with this group of friends, and one of the girls that was there, she's like, she dug, or what did she do? She carved out a hole in a watermelon and put a vodka bottle in it and like let it absorb into it, so that way when we would eat the slices of the watermelon, it would be all vodka alcohol and it would be like this drunken dessert or whatever. So we go walk to the dunes and go down the dunes and go to the beach, and we had a couple beers down there and smoked or whatever. We hung out at the beach for a little while, and then we come back. It's like, all right, let's sit around the fire and eat that fucking watermelon. Well, she left the watermelon out, and when we got back, it was fucking hollowed out by like these little claws, these little raccoon claws. And I was like, there is a raccoon dead in a ditch somewhere. Because the thing was clean. The full bottle of Smirnoff gone, the watermelon cleaned out. I was like,
man.
They're either drunk for 3 days or they're fucking dead. Or depending on how many of them ate it. But you'd be chilling around the campfire there, and there was this little pack of coyotes. They would like it would just sound like dogs skimpering down the street, and you'd be like, "What?" You hear the nails on the like the paved road or whatever, like yip 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 yip, like they're making yips as they go, and then you'd settle down to sleep, and they'd start howling, and you'd hear them going through the campsite next door, and then they're rummaging through all your shit, and you're like, "Oh my god!" So this one night, I'm laying there, and I would always get weird and paranoid of like critters and I'm not that outdoorsy, you know what I mean? It was always freaking me out.
Yeah.
Something be walking around the tent. It was always, I would hold my pee as long as I could just so as not to go out there.
It's so silent out there. It could have been a squirrel, but
right.
You're a little.
But
right,
you're all,
you're
and everything's intensified,
up,
and you're paranoid. And this is when I had my paranoia in no sense of check. And my anxiety was at full tilt. And
so it was a bear with sharpened teeth.
Yeah. Well, no, it was weird.
And a gun.
It kind of reminds me of the Jurassic Park thing we were talking about before, because like something was walking by, and on like whatever tent material is, I don't know if it's vinyl, but it's like it sounds, you know what I mean? It's all like slippy, but think of something, some little claws just scratching on it, right by my head, just.
There's a mouse.
Yeah, it was this weird thing, but I was like, and then, so I like batted at it. I like batted the tent, like boo, and it goes down a little ways, and it's just like scratching on the thing, and I was like, oh my god! And luckily, I was able to fall back asleep. But it was probably one of those drunk fucking raccoons. Like, hey man, you got anything? You got anything to eat? Or can I use the bathroom? Hey, you guys, shut up, coon. Hey, go to bed. Hold on. These guys got Taco Bell, I'm sure. I'm sure they said they were from Sacramento. That's all they eat up there. Hey. It was tripping me out.
In the baseball episode, I think I brought up that I was fishing with my dad when McGuire was chasing 50 home runs as a rookie. I don't know if I brought it during that same trip that we had something brush up against the tent that my dad tried to shoo away, and he thought he shooed away. And in the morning, we wake up, and our shit is everywhere. There was a bear in camp. Ugh. So he doesn't know what he tried to shoo away. If it was something else, the bear came later. But either way, the bear tore open the cooler, which we had for years afterward because it had cool-ass bear claw marks on it. Tore it open, drank one soda, drank all the beer.
Get out. Aren't you supposed to, like, use the bear box?
You're supposed to use bear boxes. And at that particular site or campground, they weren't that prevalent. Not all campsites have bear boxes.
Oh, that's scary.
Well, gentlemen, I think it's time for a little positivity after some bear mauling of beer.
Well, we didn't get to the Grizzly Man.
No.
Or the Revenant. Right? That was another one that didn't make it as far as I thought might in this category.
That was first rounder out.
Yeah.
Hey, go to theouthouse.com. Check out that full bracket. You can change it with your vote, folks. So get on there and vote. Orange, Hit him with a little P3.
Far better is it to dare mighty things, to win glorious triumphs, even though checkered by failure, than to take rank with those poor spirits who neither enjoy much nor suffer much, because they live in the gray twilight that knows neither victory nor defeat. I grabbed this one. It wasn't necessarily an ode to the outdoors, but it was by Teddy Roosevelt. So I thought that these are amazing words by what I already professed was one of my favorite presidents by far. But take your chance. Don't just stand there and be lucky with the status quo. Mama KGB has a decision like this coming up. We've all faced these decisions before, and we'll all face them again. And at one point, we're probably going to face it with this show, where we're going to have to, go all in. We're going to have to make that final push so we can be chilling on our boats in our national seashores. You know what I'm saying? So
chilling on.
It's good to take these chances, put in this hard work, put it in whatever you're doing, shitheads, and don't forget, it's better to have failed than to have never tried at all.
That's true.
That's absolutely true.
Regret's a bitch.
Well, hey, thanks for stopping by Same Shit, Different Toilet tonight. You always got to know to go to theouthouse.com. Check us out.
Hey, once again, as always, I'm at Mr_Orange25 on Twitter. I'm actually getting more active on that, people. Posting some pictures from tonight's show. I've been posting them from the vacations. My life isn't all that boring. When you're on to outhouse.com, make sure you sign up if you need to. Shoot me an email via the website or directly on Twitter if you want to do a Shit Happen story. And Deep in the Outhouse is upon you. Make sure you go check it out.
Yo, I am the Duffman. Catch me at Duffman916 on IG and the Twitter. Search SSDT on the Apple Podcast app. Download and listen to the show, shitheads. You won't be disappointed. Maybe you will. We don't give a fuck. And LSU2 with Fresh and Erratic going to be recorded soon, bringing you episode 2.
Yeah, check me out at JT_fresh with a 3, not an E, on that Twitter. Yeah, go to SSD Toilet on Instagram. Remember, you can find SSDT on Stitcher, iTunes, Podbean, SoundCloud, TuneIn, and yes, of course, iTunes, shitheads. Have a great night.
This is what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass.
He got a little pretty mouth, ain't he?